Good morning, everybody. This is bright and early, isn't it? 9:30 on a Wednesday morning. I feel a bit like the warm-up act you get before the main arty gets on. So good morning, everybody. How are you all? Good. Welcome along there. My name's Steve Ellis, and welcome to the Negotiating a Better Deal Masterclass. That's what it's called, isn't it? What am I doing here today? Well, I've been delivering workshops on negotiation skills to people in the UK and around the world for the last 15 years. So I'd like to think I've got lots of experience, lots of ideas I can share with you. That's why I'm here. Question for you now, what are you here for? If I can help you to improve your negotiation skills by a small margin today, by taking away 2 or 3 ideas and using them, I think that's a good use of your time. If I was to ask you now, when it comes to negotiations, how do you think you are now? Any good? Some good. Think about this one if you don't mind, please. If I was to say, give yourself a score out of 10. 10 being the world's best negotiator, 1 being pretty poor, right? Where do you think you are now? 5s, 3s, 3s? Anybody over 5? Any 5s, 6s, 7s? Yeah, I like a bit of confidence. The thing is, you see, in the next half an hour, I can't make you all 10s. That's impossible. But I'd be very, very happy if I can move you from a 3 to a 4 or a 5 to a 6. Because today is very much about sharing some ideas with you that are proven techniques that will certainly improve your negotiation skills. So hopefully by 10 o'clock, you'll leave here having learned some little techniques that you can use. So when you are negotiating in the future, be more effective. So what can we do for the next half an hour? Well, we're going to look at 4 things. Why negotiate? We're going to be looking at preparing to negotiate, the negotiation itself, and finally, closing the deal. If you do these bits right, by the way, that bit's easy. People have a fear sometimes about closing the deal. What do we do? How do you finally clinch the deal? The key thing is you do these first stages, and the last bit is the easy part. So, why negotiate? Well, every day we negotiate in our personal lives, don't we? Who's going to drive the car tonight? You drove last time, it's my turn tonight. Shall we have an Indian or Italian meal? What we're going to watch on TV? Now, in my personal life, when it comes to negotiations, I always get the last word. It's usually okay. That's life, isn't it? In business negotiations, we need to use the same skills as in our personal life. So the skills we use in our personal life in negotiations are the skills we should use in business. What are the skills? You need patience. You need confidence. You need questioning skills and listening skills. You need flexibility. You need to be focused on a clear objective. My first tip for you today is before you start any negotiation, certainly have a clear idea what you're trying to achieve. If you're not quite sure what you're trying to achieve, the chances are you won't do that. So before you start any negotiation, have a really clear objective of what you're trying to achieve. Why negotiate? To get an acceptable deal around these areas. Things like fees and charges. What are you going to charge somebody? What's the fee you're going to charge somebody? Things around payment terms. When are they going to pay you? Things around deadlines and timescales. The scope of work, what's actually involved in your work that you're going to do for the client. And any follow-up conditions. All those things you should negotiate over. And my second tip today for you is, the more things you can bring to the negotiation, the more different elements and variables, and the more chance you have of doing a deal. If you're purely negotiating over that first one, then you might have a few problems. But if you can get around that by introducing some of these areas, tweaking it, negotiating, doing a bit more of this, taking some concessions back, then you're more likely to do a deal. But the whole point of negotiation is, it's a process in which both parties strive to reach a deal that is acceptable to you both. You want to walk away from the negotiation being happy with what you've achieved, but also you want to walk away from the negotiation with the other side feeling they're happy with what they've achieved. If you get a deal where, for example, it's a win-lose deal, you do a really good negotiation and you get lots of concessions from the other side, they're going to walk away thinking, okay, it was okay, but they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. You're far, far better having a negotiation where you feel happy and, importantly, they feel happy. So preparing to negotiate. If you do your preparation, this is the key thing for any negotiation. Consider what your objective is. What are you trying to achieve in that negotiation? Think about things like, what strategy will you use to reach your objective? Now, people negotiate with different styles. Some people are very hard-nosed and very direct. They'll say, look, here's the deal, take it or leave it. Is that a good approach? It might work sometimes, but more times than not, you're going to have people having objections. So I would suggest the hard-nosed approach might be effective, but it's a bit heavy. I would recommend you try that approach to encourage an open dialogue where you can both express what you'd like to achieve, listen to the side, state the opposition, negotiate certainly, but a more open approach gives people a chance to express what they feel, and you're more likely in that situation to reach an agreement where you're both happy with. And consider your alternative outcomes. What do you want to happen? When you plan a negotiation, think, what do I want from this negotiation? Think about these factors. Have a clear idea on the outcome. What would be your ideal deal? You'd like to get, let's just imagine you're selling something, you'd like to get £200 for it. That would be fantastic. Alternatively, an acceptable deal, you might accept £180. You'd be happy with 180. It's it's a reasonable amount. But also, lastly, you might consider the bare minimum deal. You must get at least 160. So you'd like to get 200, you'd be happy with 180. If you got 160, that is the bare minimum. And if you know what that number there is, then you can always allow for that and never, ever go beyond that. It's about planning and preparation. The more prepared you are for a negotiation, then the more likely you are to have a successful outcome. If you don't plan and prepare, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't think about the other side, the chances are you're going to be caught out. And also consider the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Can you go anywhere else? Are there other people out there that you might want to negotiate with if this current deal doesn't materialise? If you've got that backup, it gives you the confidence to walk away. If that's the only deal in town, then you're going to fight and fight and fight for it. Okay. What can you include in your negotiation? Well, all the following things you see there: fees, payment terms, deadlines, timescale, scope of work, forward money. All those things put some sort of value on them, I suggest. So think about the fees you're going to charge. What would you like to achieve? What must you achieve at the bare minimum, etc. Think about payment terms. How flexible can you be on payment terms? If, for example, the other side decides to pay you a lot of money up front, then you might negotiate a lower fee. All these things play a part. Think about deadlines and timescale. What are you going to do for them? When are you going to do it by? How quickly do they want something doing? And a little tip for you, by the way, guys, if you can apply some pressure by having tight deadlines, it does move the negotiation along very quickly. If they want something doing, and you're the only person who can do it in the next, say, 2 or 3 days, that's a great bargain. So use those practices. Think about the scope of work, what you're actually going to do for them. Can you adjust that? Think about following conditions. So what you should do every single time is just think and think and think. What do I want in this negotiation? Where are my areas of negotiation? Think about the other side. Think about the side you're negotiating with. What do they want from the deal? Think about their mindset. What pressure may they apply on you? For example, they might be the only person that you can use. So therefore, if they apply a pressure on you, that puts you in a bit more of a back foot. Think about time scales. What pressure can you apply on them? Always think about time scales. You might be the only choice. You could be the only person that they can actually deliver to the other side what they want from you. Again, it's a great strength building bargaining point. You could be the only choice. Or what you're offering them is something unique. So all these things build your cases, make you feel more prepared, make you feel more confident. And when it comes to the face-to-face stuff, if you've got that background behind you, where you feel confident, you know what you're talking about, you know how far you can go, then your chances of success are greatly increased. Now, do you currently prepare for negotiations, folks? Do you sit there and think about these things? I would write them down as well, a little tip for you. If you write something down, it strengthens that feeling inside you. Don't just thinking, I'd like to get so much. Write it down, have a plan, have a real structure, and that gives you far, far greater confidence. Now, I asked you before, when I first started, where do you think you are now in negotiation skills? You're a 4, a 5, or a 6? I'm going to give you a chance now to do a bit of negotiation. And there'll be 2 teams. And because the room is nicely divided into 2 sides, I'm going to give you a chance to negotiate. Will you play along with me? Good, quite painless. What we're going to do, we'll call this side here Team A. Your Team A now. And there's a nice divided line here. And you guys are all Team B. So Team A are going to negotiate with Team B. There's a lot of you to negotiate, isn't there? There'll be a lot of interaction. What we're going to do is we're going to use a voting system. So what's going to happen is we're going to play a negotiation game over 5 rounds. And it works as follows. Your objective, Team A, and your objective, Team B, is to get the best possible positive score. You okay with that? So Team A and Team B, your objective is to get the best possible positive score. We're going to play the game over 5 rounds. Now, because of lots of you guys to decide what you're going to do, we're going to have a quick voting system. I'm going to give you a chance to think about the options, what you're going to do. And when you make a choice individually, when I say let's vote, you will either remain seated or you will stand. Now what we'll do then, I'll do a quick head count to say, okay, Team A, majority is saying sit or majority is saying stand. I will take that block vote, if you like, as your choice, and the same with you guys. Does that make sense? You okay with that? So it's dead simple. You either stand or you sit, and I'll have a quick look around it. That's definitely a stand. And after each round, we'll look at the outcome of each round, and we'll discuss what you might want to play in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the process. Here's the scoring bit, this exciting bit. If you choose to sit as a group, as your choice, and the other group chooses to sit, then you both score +5. So if your choice is to sit and your choice is to sit, you both get +5. Cool, eh? However, if you both choose to stand, then you both score -5. Ooh. Remember the objective? To get the best possible positive score. Alternative number 3 is, if you choose to stand and the other side chooses to sit, you score +10. They score -10. And finally, if you choose to sit and they choose to stand, you score -10. They score +10. So there's the options, guys. There's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? Do you play hardball or do you risk it? So have a little think for a couple of minutes, interactive partners if you will. You've got to make a choice in the next minute of whether you're going to remain seated or whether you're going to stand. And whatever the majority is from each side, I will take that as your vote. Have a little think, guys, eh? What do you think? There's your options. What do you think? Have a chat if you want to, have a chat with your colleagues and partners. How are you going to play it? Choice is yours.
You might. What do you think?
It's decision time. Now, as I said, the outcome will be decided by the majority of votes. So when I say 3, 2, 1, go, you choose to remain seated or to stand. And I'll do a quick count and say that's definitely a sit or a stand. So for round number 1 of 5 rounds, it's time to make that choice now, folks. So it's 3, 2, 1, choose. Oh, close, isn't it? I think that's majority sitting. Would you say? Would you say, folks? What do you reckon? I think that's majority. I think it's more standing, I think. Would you say that's a stand? I think that's a stand. What do you reckon here, guys? You help me out. I think it's a stand as well. I think it's a stand as well. We'll take it as a stand. In that case, then, you both. In fact, you sit down again, please, guys. If my voting is accurate, I reckon that's 2 stands. So that means you stand, they stand. Both get -5. Cracking start, eh? Cracking start. So, have a little think again. What are you going to do this time? Are you going to choose stand? Or are you going to choose sit? So you're both -5. Well done. I like good negotiations. Any thoughts? Shall we go for it? All right. Round number 2. 3, 2, 1. Choose, please. Oh, that's definitely more sitting now, I think. I think it's definitely more sitting, and definitely more sitting here. So, okay with that? So, both sit. So you both scored +5. Hey. Back to 0. How do you feel now, by the way? Feel happy with that?
I don't know what the will.
Now the thing is, a little tip for you, by the way, because I'm taking a majority vote here, some of you are thinking, I didn't vote to stand, this is not my game. What about in real life negotiation? Have you been all in negotiation with other people? And maybe people on your side don't have the same opinion as you? It happens sometimes, can't it? So the good news is we've done 2 rounds and we're halfway there. Well, we've got we're level. Round number 3 now. Round number 3. Will you make your choice? 3, 2, 1. Now, please. Oh, that's more. That's more standing, I think, guys. I think that's more standing. What do you reckon here? Standers? I think it's standers again, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, okay. So if we say stand and stand, that gives you -5, and it gives you guys -5. We're making progress, aren't we? So you're both back on -5 again. Remember the objective? Do you sense the sense of competition kicking in here, by the way? And is it about beating the other side? Maybe. Right. Round number 4. Bearing in mind you're both on -5. Round number 4. 3, 2, 1. Choose, please. Oh. That's definitely sitting now, isn't it, I think? There's a bit of swing there. And you definitely sitting here. Can we say sit and sit both times? So you both get +5. This is one of those negotiations, isn't it, eh? Now then, guys, here's the crunch one, eh? The last chance. You both on 0, aren't you? You're both on 0. So it's level pegging, eh? You feel the tension? Do you remember that program on TV years ago? Was it Deal or No Deal? Remember that one? Somebody fancy with a subterfuge here? Well, here's your last chance. Round 5, you're both level pegging. And you make your choice. 3, 2, 1. Now, please. Oh, I think that's it. You reckon? Oh, I don't know. Well, that's certainly it, isn't it? You're definitely it. What are you reckon here, guys? If this is a crunch now, I mean, oh, how many have we got?
We need to stand. We should stand.
Can we just switch? Can we stand up just to get another perspective?
Oh, it's more of that.
Oh, I think it's definitely more sitters, yeah. Well, that's definitely a sit. So you guys were sit, and you guys were sit. 4 +5 each. Which means, stupendously, you both ended up on +5. You happy with that? Anybody want to play more of a hardball game? If you played it as an individual as opposed to the group, would you play that differently? Maybe. See, there is no right and wrong in negotiations. It's about your own personality. If you're very confident to be hardball and really push for it, then please push. If you prefer to be more conciliatory and to work with other people, that's your choice. The thing about negotiations is you need to wear many, many hats. Because there is no one style of negotiation. You both ended on +5 there, right? I think that's a win-win. Do you think so? Well, you're both better off than what you started with. And remember the objective to get the best possible positive score. You got a positive score, that's a bonus. Was it the best possible positive score? No, so you got a win-win, but it's a pretty flat win-win, isn't it? It's not the best result in the world. I think it's different perspective on things. You might have got a better score, but still, no one's falling out, are we? You're on the same side now, by the way. We're all pals again. I've run that exercise many times on workshops, and I know people really fall out over that. You played a so-and-so, I'm sorry guys, it's only a game. But negotiations is the thing, is people do get upset sometimes. Try and keep their personality out of negotiations. Do not get embroiled in personal attacks. Do not let people use tactics against you that get you annoyed. Because if you get annoyed in negotiations, you're going to start doing things differently. When you do things differently, you often get things wrong. So a couple of bit more from me. The actual negotiation itself, when you're sitting down there, yourself on the other side, here's some tips for you guys. Use clear and ambiguous language. State exactly what you want in a clear, precise manner, so that there's no unambiguousness. Who makes the first move? Do you make the first move or do they make the first move? Are you happy, by the way, saying, I would like to achieve this? Or do you prefer it if they say to you, give me some indication on what you're looking for? How do you feel about that one? You okay making the first move? If you've done your preparation and you know what you're looking for, I would suggest state quite clearly what you're looking for. You have to question them to understand their position, find out where they're coming from, state what you're looking for, find out from them, and then trade variables, time scales, price, etc., etc. And remember your preparation plans. Think back all the time. Before I started this negotiation, this was my objective. And be aware of this as well, your body language. You're giving loads of clues away. If I say to you, yes, I'm really confident with that deal, yes, great, yeah, that's my final offer. But if you say something like, I'm very happy with the deal, that's my final offer. What does that suggest to you? Bang. End of story. That's it. Final offer. Conversely, if I said to you, I'm open to suggestions, what do you think? So little gestures like, what do you think? Share some ideas with me, are really powerful, and also, that's my final offer. Don't get them mixed up, by the way. That's my final offer. Honestly, that's my final offer. I can't go any further. Or any questions. Okay, all right. So your body language plays a massive part. Anybody play poker? You're a bit to it. When you're playing poker, it's the coolest thing in the world for negotiations, because if you're in control of your body language, you try and neutralize any thoughts that's going inside your head, so be very aware of that. And then get towards the end, closing the deal, excuse me. Seek to move nearer together. You want to get the other side of yourself going in the same direction. Offer concessions that are of little value to you, but maybe of value to them. So offer concessions that to you is a small giveaway, but they might really appreciate it. And look for the signs. Are they ready to close? How do you know when someone's ready to close a deal? What sort of gestures do they do? How do those facial expressions change? You know when somebody's thinking, this is pretty good, I like this. When it's there, take the opportunity. Aim for a win-win outcome and close with confidence. Don't be frightened of asking those words. Look, do we have a deal? What can they say? Yes? Or no? Some people are frightened of asking that question. We've done all the preparatory work. That bit's the easy bit. And I would suggest to you, if you put all those things together, plan, think about what you want to achieve, have a clear structure. When you're negotiating itself, use your body language, speak confidently and all those things. If you do all those things, if you were a 4 before, or a 5, maybe you're a 5 or a 6 now. And the thing is about practicing. Always practice your things. So we've looked at why negotiate, preparing to enter a negotiation, the actual negotiation itself, and closing the deal. So that's a bit of a whiz through in half an hour, isn't it? But it's thoughts to take away, guys. If you apply some of those things from there, I'll guarantee, absolutely guarantee, you'll be a better negotiator than what you were at half an hour at this point. So, in summary, I produced a fact sheet, by the way, with all the notes I've made here. I can email it to you if that's okay. Have you got any questions? It is early in the morning, isn't it? And the main act's on later on. Okay, well, two more bits to share with you. Selling bit. I'll soon be delivering some one-day workshops on improving negotiation skills. If you'd like to come along, please do so. I can send you some details through, and I'll be happy to do that with you. And I've also got a little plug, by the way. I've been asked by somebody from St Oswald's Hospice if I would mention, it's one of my favourite charities, the fact that they've got 2 draws on today. They've got a draw for business cards, and also they've got a draw on the Newcastle, is that a bad word around here? The United football team sponsorship, so they're offering that as well. So if I can give them a little plug, I'd be most happy to do. So that's me done, guys. So at this point, can I say thank you for listening to me. Thank you for playing along with me. I wish you well in future negotiations, and keep the faith. Okay.